data objects, performing concatenation, merging, and joining on data frames, iterate those data frames, and explore data sets and extracts insights from it. So in this session, we will be covering these topics, right? And for this, we will be using three libraries, that is NumPy, Pandas, and Matplotlib. Basically, these libraries we are going for analyzing, visualizing, and manipulating the larger data sets in order to extract valuable. So let us begin with the session. So in the first part, we will be having an ending function. Basically, in the ending function is for calculating the number of dimensions of the data structure. Like it returns the number of dimensions of the data structure. So suppose I'm using series. Series is basically an one dimension array which contains number of values. So here we will be using a series, and then first of all how to use it. First of all we will be importing libraries, and then we will create a data frame in which we have a series. Series is basically used for one dimension, and then we are generating the numbers, and a range values is used for generating the number of values from 1 to 50. So it is a series of numbers from 1 to 50, and then we are going to print the number of dimensions on the screen. So here we will be let us implement this function, and then we will move to next. So now I am opening a Colab. So basically this is used for, it is an interactive Python notebook. So I'm going to use that interactive notebook for our program. Let us take new notebook. So a new notebook will be opened, and then we are going to check out the functioning of it. So first of all, whenever we import any function, we have to import the libraries or packages. First of all, I have imported the library, that is NumPy, and then we are going to take the second library, that is Pandas, data analysis for Python. And now we are going to have our series function. So you can call out the series part as well. And I'm taking the values from 1 to 50. Here we will be taking generating the numbers from 1 to 50, and let us print the dimension of it. So that is df dot ending functions. Let us run this program and check out what is the dimension of this particular part. That would be returning 1, because series, I told you, it is a one dimension array. Now let us move to the next part. So here, like how to implement it, I have shown you. Let us move to the next part. So the next function we would be using in the series part only, that is access. Access is basically returning the list of accesses of the row label. So whatever you have in the row labels, that is going to be shown. That is the interior part. So let us print that part only. So I'm going to use the same code, and in the same code, rather than printing the dimension, we will be printing the access part, so that we can give the access lengths, right? Let us see the access part as well. So here we will be saying the start is 0, and where the loop is exiting, that is at the 50 count, because we are generating the number of values from 150. And what are the step count? That is by default it is 1. If you have some step count, you can change it to 1, 2, 3 by giving another argument here. Here you need to give the step count. So by default, I have not given anything. It is showing 1. So let us move to the next part. So next is your values. Values function is basically used for returning the actual data in the series. So what is your values ranging from 1 to 50? So it is going to print all the values that is ranging from 1 to is like that, right? So you have created a series that is 1 to 50, and if you want to print those values from 1 to 50, you can use the values function, right? So let us complete 2 3 functions, and then directly I'm going to execute them one by one. So next function is a head function. Head function is basically used for returning the first n rows or first n records of the data structure. Suppose I would be using a head function and I'm not giving any argument over here, right? So it is return 6, so it is returning the first 6 records, right? Otherwise, if I'm not going to give anything over here, so then that means the first 5 records will be printed. So by default, it gives the first 5 records. Otherwise, if you give something as an argument, it is going to print those values from the records, right? So this is basically used for head with head function. Now, like if I want to use it for if I want to check it for the uh, last n records, last n rows of the data structure, then I would be using tail function. Again, the same thing. It is going to show me the last 5 records. So suppose I'm not sending any argument over here in the tail function. So it is going to return last 5 records. Otherwise, if I'm going to have some number over here, so it is going to print like that. So let us implement those functions that we have just now covered. Here, I will be making it as a comment because we have already seen. Let us see for the values part also. So here we would be having df dot values over here. In the values function is basically used for showing the values. In this function, that is showing the values from 1 to 50. It is going to print the values from 1 to 50, right? Now let us see for our head function. So let us make this as a comment and let us use the head function. Head function is basically, I told you, like it is going to return the first n records. First, if you are not giving any value over here, if you are not giving any argument basically, so then it would be returning the first 5 records. By default, it returns first 5 records. Otherwise, if I'm going to return, let's suppose we have 10, so now it is going to return the first 10 records. So first 10, how you are going to analyze like these are my first 10 records? The index is maintained, right? So here the index is from 0 to, yeah. So starting with 0. Starting with 0 means it is showing the records from first. Let's suppose I'm taking it as I'm taking the argument as 6. So it would be showing me the first 6 records of the data set, right? Of your range. Now let us check it out for tail function as well. Here we will be using the tail function. So again, if you are not giving any argument in the tail function, it would be returning the last n number of records, right? And what is n? N is 5. Last 5 values of the records will be printed over here. So last 5 records, right? And I told you because we have the values from 1 to 50, so our index would be 0 to 4. So now it is going to show like this. And if I'm going to have some argument over here, suppose 12 I'm taking. So last 12 records it is going to display on the screen. This is how it works when it works for the head and tail function. Now let us continue with the next part. So here we are going to have now the sum function. Basically, the sum function returns the sum of values which you have in your series. So here we will be using the dictionary in which we are creating two dictionaries, right? And creating the values from 1 to 100, and it is basically giving the values from even numbers. It will extract the values from even numbers, and again it is going to extract the values from odd numbers. So the key pair values which we have defined in our dictionary, it segregates like this: the odd pair and the even pair. And then first of all we will print this part, and then we can check it out for your, like, whether it is showing the sum of numbers or not, right? So like, first of all we are going to create a dictionary out of it. Then we convert this dictionary into our data frame. So data frame, again you are converting a dictionary into a data frame so that you can have to access it. If you want to print it, it is going to be printed. Otherwise, if you want to get the sum out of it, sum is basically returns the sum of values of all the even numbers and all the odd numbers, and then it is going to be printed on the screen, right? So let us start with this code also, like how does it work. Let's have another code in this. Let us import first of all the packages. We are taking numpy first and then pandas, then we can create the dictionary. First key pair value I'm taking for odd numbers, and then generating the range from 1 to 100. Because it is an odd number, so we are taking it as like this. And let us take for even number as well. For even numbers, again we are going to have the even, and then we took the logic, starts from 0 and step by 2. Then we can now print the odd number and even. Print the odd numbers, and then let us take the key pair value. Once we have done with odd and even, let us convert it to data frame as the data frame we have, and wherein we pass the dictionary as an argument. So let's suppose first of all find out the even numbers and odd numbers from here. So let's suppose this is my first key pair value, that is for odd numbers. Then we have even numbers, right? That is, again, this is the another key pair value, that is. Now let us use the functions, that is sum and your this standard deviation also. I will be covering the standard deviation also. Let us first cover this part where we need to print the sum function. We have already converted it to a data frame, so we are calling that part, and now it is going to print the sum of all numbers, and then in the second part it is going to print the sum of even. So this is how it is going to print. First of all, you have taken a dictionary and first key pair value of all numbers, the second key pair value for numbers, and then this is your dictionary part, and then you have printed both the dictionaries, both the key pair values of the same dictionary, that is odd and even, and then you are going to convert this particular dictionary D into a data frame so that you can perform different functions. So again I have performed the sum function. Sum function basically returns the sum of value for the requested access. So we have requested first of all for odd numbers and then for even numbers because they are it also it is also having the even numbers. Now let us see standard deviation. So when we talk about standard deviation, the basic functionality of standard deviation is again it calculates, it returns the standard deviation of the values which you have for the requested access. Like let's suppose here in we have taken for even numbers and odd numbers. The same like you have created first of all you have created libraries and then you have created the dictionary part and in this dictionary you have taken the first key pair value that is 1 to 100. You are calculating the even numbers and then you have calculated the even numbers. First you have calculated the odd numbers and you have printed it, right? And then the next part, very important part, you need to convert it that dictionary into a data frame. Now once you have converted into a data frame, then you are going to call out the function. So let's suppose we have used the sum function earlier, so here we are going to have the standard deviation, right? This is how it works. Now let us take the another part, that is group by command. It is a command like when we are using this command, it actually uh, it gives you the grouping of that part, right? It splits them into multiple groups. Takes one group, second group, does like this, right? So group by is like how it is going to work. An object in pandas can be split into multiple ones. How you are going to do, like suppose we have taken this, first of all we have imported the library, then we have taken this dictionary, right? In this dictionary we have defined one key pair value, that is t. Now in this team the values would be your like this, West Indies and the number of countries you are giving over here. So you have given the countries. The next key you have taken rank, and the third key you have taken year. How you have taken the three, and the pair of values are corresponding to this particular key. Now once we have done with this, then we are going to convert this particular dictionary into a data frame, right? And when you have taken this data frame, now need to convert this, like you need to use this data frame as in to have your group by command implement, right? So we have to convert this group by command, right? So first of all we have to use the, let's see how it does it work. So you have created a, you have imported one file and wherein you have taken the dictionary. Then you have created the key pair values. There are three key pair values, and then you have corresponding values to it. And then you have converted this by command into data frame. Now you are going to have the how to use this. You have grouped the particular key field by teams. So it segregates like team, according to team it segregate like this: West Indies, what is the rank of West Indies, and so on. So this is how does it work. So it makes the groups like this. Let us see, like suppose you have the Australia first of all. Australia, then what is the index, what is the rank out of it, what is how many times it is there. First of all it gives you that part, like Australia if I'm talking about, it is at index this 0 1 2 3, and then it is at index 6, then 7, then 8 also, and then 10 also. So first of all it is going to return like this, it is going to group like this the number of occurrences, the number of occurrences, the particular part, right? So here we will be having like this. First of all we have converted and it is going to give the output like this particular Australia is like occurred how many times, 1 2 3 4 5 times. So 5 times it is going to occur in your dictionary. Now, next thing is like, uh, let's suppose we have India. India has occurred only one time. And what is the index out of it? That is 0, 1, 2. So the index of India is, this is how it actually make the groups. Like if the item is occurring, the values are occurring more than once, then what are those index of it? Gives the data type also, but the, what is the D type of that? But basically it gives you the indexes part. Let's say India. India is like, it is nothing. It is basically giving at the index 0, 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it is at index 9. So you have India and it is at index 9. This is how it is going to group the particular part, right? How it performs the group. This is like we have performed only on teams. Let's suppose we have to perform on two things, teams and ranks. So how does it work? Right? So first of all, it is going to work like this. The first, Australia, it will take what is the rank of that Australia, it will find that. So here the rank of Australia is 1. So we have grouped the values with two kp with two keys. What are the two keys? Team and rank. Right. So here we have taken first key as Australia and second rank. Right. And then it is going to take out the indexes of all these things. Right. And then we have taken the same procedure is followed for your India rank 2. How it comes to, basically it is like this: 0 index, 1 index, 2 index. First of all, right? What is the rank at 2 index? 0, 1. The rank would be 2. The corresponding value, the corresponding rank of particular country would be taken. So here we would be having India. So the corresponding rank is like that, right? And then again the index is 2 because we have already seen this part. So it is taking the index. Then we have another part that is India, and India is again the rank of this is 2. Last, this from last second, so last second rank is 2 is taken, right? And it has occurred how many times? Obviously, what is the index of it? It has occurred one time. What is the index of it? So you need to calculate. Yes, it is. Okay. So this is how, and so on for the rest of the values as well. So we can perform the group by operation on a single value also. We can group the values on multiple parts also, right? We can use it for multiple columns also, right? Now let us see how we can select a particular item. Like if we have some condition or if we have some constraint, how we are going to use it, right? So here we would be having, first of all, we are going to import the header file, that is, or a package, that is pandas. Then we have a dictionary, that is World Cup. Then again we have the three columns or three key pair values. The key is deep. We have different values over there. Then we have rank here, right? And then we have year, right? Now, what we are going to do, first of all, we know that first of all we need to convert this dictionary into a data. We have done. We have converted this dictionary data frame. Now, once your data frame is ready, now you can group by with any of the key pair values. So we have group by this by T. Now you can segregate also like which country you are talking from T. So get group command is used for, basically a single group can be selected using get group command, right? So here we will be having get group in which we have passed the value from here. Any value you can take it and you can send it as an. So it is going to share all the details that are related to team, that are related to rank and year, and which index it is there. So why it is coming 2 and 2 here. This is the rank part, right? This 2 is the index. Let me show you 0, 1 and 2. This 2 is coming for your indexing part. The next 2 is coming for your rank part. So don't get confused like what is this 2? It is coming 2 times. The first value, because that record added index to that index is shown, right? So we can also extract the data using the get book, right? Let us move to the next. I will be implementing all these functions once you get understood. We will be implementing those functions in a coming part 2 also. So concatenation is nothing. Concatenation is combining of two or more data structures. So when you have like suppose first of all you have imported the pandas library, when you have one dictionary and another dictionary. Now let's suppose you want to integrate or you want to combine those two data structures. How you would be integrating it? So you will be doing like this. You'll be using concat, right? Concat is a function which takes the argument like how many data structures you want to concatenate. You may concatenate. It is going to work like that. So here we would be having our first key, that is team, and under teams we have the values. Then we have rank. Then again the ranks have the corresponding. Don't write like this. If you have only 5 values over here, then you write here the 5 rank part. Otherwise, it is not going to map it. It is going to give you an error. In the second key pair value, you have words, champions here. The third part, you have points. Now, once you have created your dictionary, one, right? Now, we will be moving towards dictionary two. What is your dictionary do? That is chokers. Now, in chokers, we have taken key, three keys: theme, ICC rank, and points. Right? Now, and this. Now, first of all, we have to what we have to perform if we have to perform any operation on it. If we have to any perform any function over there, what we are going to do? First of all, we need to convert these dictionaries to data frame. Now, once your data frame is ready, now you can concatenate. So you can use concatenation. You can use append function also, right? And there are a number of functions which can concatenate the two two or more data structures. So what is the command? That is pd or pandas dot concatenate concat, and herein you need to send two data frames as an argument. What you will observe, the first 4 values are from data frame 1, the second 3 values are from data, yes, are from data frame 2. So this is how it works. And let's suppose in the first part we have the year. Let's suppose here we have the year, right? In this key pair value. In the second data structure, we don't have the year part. So it is showing NA, means no values. This null values, it is going to insert by default. So why it is NaN? Because here you have not defined the key pair value for such data. Otherwise, it is not giving any error because you don't have that value. You don't have that key in your dictionary, in your data structure, right? So that's why it is not showing. If the values are given over here, then definitely it is going to display it. So this you need to keep in mind like how it works when we take the values, how the table is represented, how it is coming in a tabular format. It is coming like that only when we are taking the tables, when we are taking the records. If the record, if the key pair value is not present, that is going to take the 9 marks, right? So hope you have understood the session. Hope you have understood the concepts, the functions that we use in uh, Python, and we use different libraries, different packages. These packages actually provides a wide functionality in which basically the user can extract a valuable information from from, you may say, a larger data set. So here we are creating the dictionaries and then we are extracting the information. Although we can have imported our data sets also, and then we can work on that also, right? So hope you have understood the session. Hope you like this.